This is going to be for the zodiac sign Aries. Okay, so what am I getting for Aries? And like always, I'll validate with my cards, okay? With my oracle. I don't use the tarot for this, I use the oracle. But I'm going to take out, I take out the chakra cards for this because those don't always validate the messages that are coming through. Alright, Aries, I don't know if you have any upcoming events or things going on, but I feel like you're doing a lot of brainstorming right now. I'm seeing you, or journaling, or doing a lot of writing. I don't know what this is about. It could be for business, it could be for personal use, but I'm seeing a lot of that going on right now, a lot of brainstorming. And I'm also seeing oh, thank you for acknowledging that, Marcy. And I also feel like the little fishy, like, I also feel like there might be some travel coming up. And some type of importance surrounding children, young children. And whatever concern there is going to be for young children, try not to stress about that too much because it's going to be okay. They're going to be okay. You're going to be okay. Whatever the situation is, and remember this is general, so what may be going on with you and your child or a child in your life may not necessarily be the same thing going on with another one, with another person, I mean. Okay, safety could be an issue, whatever this is related to. So, whatever it is, I feel like you need to be cautious if you're traveling. I'm not going to, I mean, please, like, wear your seatbelts and stuff. I'm seeing safety could possibly be an issue with something. So be really careful, whatever it is you're doing. And I also feel like if you're a smoker, get your health checked. Because, like, right now, I'm having difficulty breathing. So if you're having breathing issues, get that checked. I'm hearing pneumonia, so some may have pneumonia or a reoccurring case. Yeah, I'm definitely feeling something in the lung area. I'm feeling pressure there, so get that checked. Thank you, Renee. I feel honored to know you. Just so you guys know, Renee was my son Diego's 5th grade or 4th grade teacher, I believe. Renee, I think it was like 4th or 5th, right? Or both. But awesome, awesome teacher. Couldn't have asked for a better experience, for real. And I thank you for that. Yeah, I'm feeling a lot of activity around you, Aries. I'm feeling a lot of activity going on around you. So, oh no, you're fine, Renee. So, I feel like you may be needing rest that you're not necessarily getting. And it's not even because you're not trying to get the rest. It's because, I'm not in San Diego. It's not because you're not trying to get the rest. It's because there's so much activity going on around you that it's becoming difficult to get rest. And I feel like your health is, for some, I want to make that clear, could be a cause for concern right now. So I really urge you, if you haven't been to the doctor lately, to do that. Yeah, it's so important that you get that rest. I don't care if you have to fight people for it. You need it right now. It's really important right now to get that rest. Because this is the thing. if you don't rest your body, if you neglect that, your body is going to make sure you get that rest. So if you don't sit your body down, your body will sit you down. And if your body has to sit you down, it's going to be hard to get back up. Set it down, because it's going to hurt you if you don't. And I feel like Aries are a little bit more playful right now too than they have been in a while, which is a good thing. Because I know Aries have been through some stressful situations. So I feel like it's almost like you can take a breath of fresh air and be a little bit more playful now. But I really feel like the big ticket thing here is your rest and your health. Super important. All right, hold on. Let me see. So now, let me go to the cards and pull and see what I get off of there. Aries. What to expect coming up. Find balance. You see? That's that rest. You find the balance. You know, yeah. Okay. Let me pull more cards. Hold on. I'll explain that in a minute, what I'm getting off of that. Aries. One more card for Aries. Sun, Moon, and Rising. Aries. One more. Okay, that's like a new message. I don't think came through. Okay. So I pulled 3 cards, okay? They're all separate from each other. Although I do feel like you can combine these two and you'll understand in a minute. So before I get into these, I'm going to talk about this one, because this one I didn't cover in the message that came through. Control. Control your thoughts. Control your surroundings. Control what you're allowing in your life. Aries, you're a real powerful sign. So for you to not even be in control, you're out of your element. And with this card, even though this card has nothing to do with what I'm about to say, it's more like the energy I'm getting off the card. Because, excuse me, this is going to be related to this in a way, okay? This has 2 separate messages. So, control your thoughts, control your mood, control the people you allow around you, all right? That's one message. Now, the other one absolutely touches on what I was saying before about your health. It's kind of funny. Because I was saying I was feeling the pressure in here in the chest. I was talking about the breathing and everything. And the exhaustion, which absolutely can have everything to do with your health, or vice versa. Your health have everything to do with your exhaustion. Okay? Look at this card. Can you see that? I don't know if there's a glare. Let me try to block that glare out somehow. Alright. Look closely at this card. Do you see this kind of vest type thing made of feathers over the shoulders and covering the chest? That to me looks like a set of lungs, and they're black. In the center is a heart hanging down off his chain. Okay? That looks like a set of unhealthy lungs to me. So this is what I see. And that heart that's hanging down, this pressure in the chest could absolutely have any, something to do with the heart as well. So that leads me into this card. Reach out. Reaching out. If you are having health concerns, you need to get help. Okay? This is not going to resonate with everybody. So please, if you're an Aries and you're not having these symptoms, don't wig out. Okay? But if you are, you absolutely need to get help. You are juggling way too much at one time. You need to find balance. You need to absolutely control and organize. Look at this. You see this wheel? In each section of this wheel has its own item. Everything is organized, categorized, whatever. But it's there and it's balanced. There's an even amount in each section of whatever the item is. There isn't 2 items in one area, 5 in another. It's evenly spaced. Okay? This is what you need going on in your life in every area. And look at each section as a certain area of your life. It needs to be balanced out. It is absolutely affecting your health. I can't urge that enough. And so that makes sense when it comes to your safety, seatbelt, safety, falling asleep at the wheel, please. Just really, it's a really strong message, okay? So, of everything I said, hold on to that. It's a really strong message. Relationships are getting better. If you were in rocky situations, they're getting better. There's a lot of healing going on right now as well. So, I know that things have been really confusing lately for Aries, but it's getting better. And, personal relationships with friends, family, people you work with, people you're in love with, everything is getting better. Hi, Angela. Everything is getting better, okay? So, things are going to start to pan out, but now you just have to, right now I'm only doing Aries. So right now you just have to be concerned for your health, all right? All right, Aries. Thank you guys so much. Okay, Taurus, I feel like you're finding yourself in a lot of the same situations over and over again. And I feel like it's happening because you're a bull. Taurus is a bull sign, stubborn. You're really resisting change. Like you're putting the block up. You don't want it. It's very uncomfortable for you to change certain aspects of yourself. When you have to look within and see that a normal way of doing certain things isn't working for you, you struggle with that. Because you're really stuck in your own ways of doing things, saying things, thinking things, the way you work, the way you live. And so it's really difficult for you. And I really feel like right now, it's like the universe is putting you in situations. You're finding yourself in more situations, and it's sometimes even being confrontational because you feel like you have a valid point. But be careful with this, because you could absolutely be sabotaging yourself. All right, so I feel like right now it's kind of like you're resisting having to look at the shadow side of yourself, at that darker side. But I do feel that even with that resistance, I feel like at some point, and some Tauruses may already be experiencing this, but at some point, I feel like you're going to allow this change. I feel like this is something that's been going on with you, but I feel like you're going to begin to allow that change. You're going to begin to start looking at yourself, and I really feel like it's going to hurt. I feel like this is going to be an emotional thing for you. I really feel like it's going to be a very like a swift kick to the ego, you know, and it's going to hit you. And I think once and it's not a bad thing. That's a good thing. Even if it knocks you off your pedestal for a little while, there's nothing wrong with it. You know, no movement is worse than movement, even if it hurts, because you'll always come up out of that. Okay, and I also feel like, I don't know what's going on with your mouth, but if you need dental work, go get dental work. Because like up in here, like for me right now, it's getting really uncomfortable. The roof of my mouth is feeling uncomfortable. God damn it, if you need work in your mouth, go get it done. Go get it done, because when you don't get anything fixed in your mouth that needs to be fixed, it can absolutely cause other health issues. All right? So please, get your dental work done. Stop resisting it. Stop. Okay? Root canals are not all that bad. I mean, they're not comfortable, but they're not like they used to be. Broken teeth, cavities, whatever, get it fixed, okay? Okay, let me see what else is going on with Taurus. I think for some Taurus, I think when it comes to family members, like blood family, there could be some issues there. I feel like for some Taurus, you really have to reflect and think about how it is that you've treated family members in the past. Or you're reflecting on that. I think this is going to be such an emotional time for so many people, so many signs. It's like, that's what this energy is calling for. It's like, it's forcing people to dig way down deep inside and bring stuff to the surface that just no longer serves them anymore. Like a boil, you know? In order for it to heal, everything's going to come to the surface. And I feel like Taurus are really going in and digging down deep. Gemini's next, love. I'm doing Taurus right now. You know, and I also feel like you need to find people that you really feel comfortable with. You need to find people that you really feel an emotional connection with, because I feel like right now you're feeling unloved. Like I really feel like right now you want to be embraced. Like you really feel like you could just curl up in somebody's arms and just cry. I feel like this, you know, part of you, you know, wants that so bad, just to feel comforted, appreciated, loved, played with, you know. Because what I'm seeing is like a little kid holding and loving on a puppy. So it could also be that you're getting a puppy, or you have a puppy, you know, that could also be it too. But I'm going off of the feeling of this, okay? And I'm feeling like if you had that, you'd be excited like a puppy would. You know what I mean? Okay. And if you're dieting, I'm going to say that because that just came up. Do not miss meals. Okay? It's okay to diet. Absolutely. But do not starve yourself. Because if you do, your body will, first of all, it's eating its own fat when you starve yourself. But your body also remembers. Your body has a memory. So when you lose what your goal is, and then you start eating again, your body's going to hold on to any fat that you lost, because it's going to remember what happened before, and it's going to be afraid of starving again. So you have got to stop missing meals. If you're hungry, eat salad, eat fruit, eat as much salad as you want to. Man, you can eat salad all day long. There's so many different things. If you're feeling hungry, carry that trail mix in your pocket, you know. Carry some trail mix. Dang, just eat, okay? Do not starve yourself. Because I feel like a lot of, like if you're drinking enough liquid or water, you feel like that's enough. It's not enough. Your body needs the nutrients. Your body needs it. It's very important. There's a healthy way to diet. If you're not hungry, you know, or you don't want to actually eat something, drink a protein shake. And do not be afraid that the protein shake is going to make you gain weight. It's not going to make you gain weight if you're dieting correctly. All right. Let me see. What do we got here? Let me go to the cards. Taurus. I know my moon is Taurus too. So, I get it. That doesn't make sense. Okay. Hold on. Let's see what we get from the cards. You know, there's just some, I mean, I had that reaction just now because there's just some messages from Spirit that I don't necessarily feel like are appropriate. And sometimes I'll just keep them to myself. They're just not appropriate. All right, Taurus. Upcoming energies for Taurus. That makes sense. Taurus. Jeanette. I will. Don't worry, Jacqueline. This one's just about done. You can watch it, love. I'm actually going to put this on, put it up on YouTube. And one more card for Taurus. Oh, yes. So, like I was saying, this stubbornness, right, that you guys have. Oh, Chameleon. Aquarius isn't going to be for a while. I'm only on the 2nd zodiac sign, and Aquarius is going to be the 11th. So, it'll be a while. All right. Sagittarius will be the 9th. Okay, let me get back to this. All right, so that inner work that I was telling you about, like digging down deep and bringing things to the surface. Check this out. Seek the truth. I don't know how clear you can see this image, okay? But it's like two faces. Two heads back to back. All right? It's kind of like your mind. It's kind of like two heads, one mind. And then this person, which would also represent you, is splitting. It's let me see the best way to explain this. That shadow side, you know, that shadow side, yes, Chameleon Love at the website. Yeah, inbox me and I'll give you the information, sweetie. That shadow side is what you're going to have to face right now. And remember, I was saying, in order to work, it's uncomfortable, okay? It's uncomfortable to look within. It's uncomfortable to see certain aspects of ourselves that we don't like. Sometimes it's easier to ignore it because you're so comfortable with the devil you know. You know what I mean? But what this is telling you is if you can do that and work through that shadow side and be okay with it, you will see the light side at the other end. You're gonna heal from that dark emotional part, the part that hasn't been serving you, the part that you've been so attached to. It's asking you to detach. Detach from that. You see how she's got this bird in her hand and she's letting it fly? That's literally her trusting spirit. Birds are a very spiritual symbolism. And when you can attach, see this area that she's attaching from? Detaching, I mean. It's dark, you see? And once she can detach from that, there's that light again. Moving the dark out of the way to see the light. Trusting in spirit. Trust yourself. You're a very spiritual being. You know, even if you don't believe that a higher power is doing this for you, you've got to at least have enough faith in yourself in order to make this work, in order to move through this energy. It's really dark, okay? And it's going to be hard, but you can do it. And then look at the end result. You know? Simply love. Now, obviously this looks like a father and son, right? Like I said, family issues. But I also look at this as you and you. The older you, the younger you. You actually falling in love who you've always been your entire life and being okay with that person. You have to live with you forever. And if you cannot love yourself like this, it's going to be hard to do this. It's going to be really hard. You have to have enough love for yourself, even if it means admitting that you haven't necessarily been fair, haven't necessarily taken other people's feelings into consideration when dealing with them, watching the way you speak to people, because Taurus like peace in their life. They really do. And sometimes the way they go about it isn't necessarily effective. It can be crude. And I know, I mean, I'm a Taurus moon, so I get it, okay? Sometimes we just demand respect from people when if we can just give it, we can earn it. And if you're in a situation where even when you're trying to earn it, you're not getting it, then get out of that situation. I know, easier said than done. I know, I'm in it. But what's most important, regardless of how other people react or act, if you're behaving in a way that you can be proud of, then you're doing the right thing. And if you're having a hard time doing that, then that's the part of you that you really need to acknowledge. That's the part of you that you really need to work on. Because it's not going to serve you well if you don't. And I know that's hard to deal with, but we got to do it, you know? Or can stay stuck in that mental space that's really not healthy and bringing you into so many dramatic situations, so many dramatic feelings from one extreme to the other, you know what I mean? Like really, really sad and really, really mad. I mean, just extreme behaviors, you know? They're not balanced, and you don't want that for yourself, because not only is it not good for you, but it throws other people's balance off too, you know, and it's going to be really difficult for you to get the results that you want if you can't learn to have a little bit of give and take, you know, understand that your way may not always be the best way, okay, and be okay with that. Learn to listen to other people and their side of it fully. And I think you can work through this. Don't be so stubborn. Bottom line. All right, Taurus? All right. See what I get for the twins. All right, Gemini. All right. I'm getting that there may be a career change or a financial change when it comes to their career. So you could either be changing your position at work or finding a new position somewhere else, or an increase excuse me, an increase in your finances. That's always a good thing, right? So that's good. Oh, Geminis, you're about to go through it. You're about to go through it. You're really about to go through it. I feel like a lot of Geminis, I feel like this is going to be a karmic cycle for you. I feel like your chickens are going to be coming home to roost, Gemini. And I know I have my own personal issues about Gemini, but for real, you know, it's tough. But you know, because it seems like Geminis skate through a lot of things, you know? They do. They don't take things too seriously. They're definitely a mental sign, but I feel like with them, they can be, you know, they're a very playful sign. So when it comes to things getting too serious or too real, They don't like to deal with it. They like to just block it out. They don't want to deal with it. But I feel like this is something that's coming that you're not going to be able to. It's like you're being forced. And I think, that, like I said before, like in the other video, this is happening with a lot of signs. You're definitely going to be facing your shadow side. For sure. That's coming. You're going to have to dig. I feel like a lot of Geminis, not all Geminis, but I feel like a lot of Geminis are going to have to deal with a loss of some sort. This could be, it could be in any area. It could be financial, it could be relationship, it could be life, somebody they know. It can be any area. Loss is the main topic. And I feel like it's this very thing that's going to force you to face that darker side that you don't like to face, that more emotional side. And I feel like there are some things that you're clinging on to for dear life because you don't want to release it. And I think for some male Geminis, if you're having issues in the prostate area, go get it checked. If you're having issues in the lower region, go get that checked. Yeah, I'm seeing hands like in the face, you know, like really. And this isn't something Gemini is used to. You know, I'm not saying they don't have their bad moments, but to actually break down and really have to go within and really cry it out and really go through it, they're not used to. They can usually brush stuff off. I mean, even if they get into a funk, you know, they can come out of it pretty quick. But this time, it's not going to happen. I'm telling y'all, it ain't. And I really feel like this is a big message for Gemini. More, you know, Gemini's air, so that's mental, okay, not emotional. But this is, so this is out of your element, which I think is the reason why this is such a big, I'm actually going to shut the comments off on this so it doesn't interfere with the messages that I get because it can be distracting. So I'm not being rude, guys, okay? Alright, so I feel like, you know, water signs are emotional signs. That's the type, like what I'm feeling coming for Gemini is normally what a water sign would go through. Water signs are a very emotional sign. You know, earth signs are not. They're very, like a grounded energy. They're analytical, you know. They're very grounded. Fire signs remind me of a more immature energy, and I don't mean immature meaning irresponsible, which can be, but I mean immature meaning they rush in, they go for it, they without thinking, without thought, you know. So without the emotion, without the thought process, which is why I say the immature element, I should say, not an immature person. Okay, so for Gemini, which is always up in their head, for them to be in their emotions, it's different for them. So let me see. Where'd I go? Okay. Gemini. These are not making sense. Hold on. Hmm. You know, Geminis tend to not take things too seriously. You know, it's easier for Geminis to joke their way through difficult situations. A lot of Geminis will be in a difficult situation, you know, think about it and be two-sided with it, you know, one way. They're very conflicted in their own thoughts. And I feel like this is part of what's coming up. Okay. You need to trust the process. You absolutely have to trust the process. And I can validate that with this trust card, okay? There's not too much coming in with this card other than that, so I'm going to put this card to the side. But that's true. Trust the process. You are absolutely being taught from Spirit. This is definitely coming in from Spirit, all right? There's two sides of you. Look. Right, left. Two sides of you. That's the twins. You need to find a way to be in touch with both sides and still find that one single balanced emotion, way of thinking. You know, I kind of feel like what's going on, like Gemini's flip-flop. Okay? They do. They got different personalities. Because they don't know how to balance. They don't know how to take the emotions from the dark side and then the emotions from the lighter side, bring them together and balance it out. They don't know how to do that. It's either one or the other. And it can change from minute to minute, you know, depending on who's around them, what the circumstance is, whatever. But I feel like a lot of Gemini's chickens are coming home to roost, is what I feel like. And when you come out of this, it's going to be a good thing. You're going to have a new perspective on the way you handle things. Now, whether you put it into practice, I don't know. The understanding will be there, though. But you've got to learn to master these emotions, okay? That's what I'm seeing. Okay? Because it isn't just the way you're feeling inside. It's the way you're causing other people to feel. When other people start feeling insignificant, like they don't matter, it's like you're not taking the time to understand why that person is feeling that way. And you feel absolutely justified in every thought and action that it is that you're doing. And I feel like this is where that part is going to get affected. Like you're going to have to dig into that. And I feel like that's what's coming up. I feel like you're digging into that. And you need to learn how to grab the bad and the good and bring it together. There's something about it coming together with the two and balancing it out, because I feel like the quicker you can do that, and I'm not saying to rush through your own healing or to rush through your own process. But I mean, the sooner you allow it to take place and work through it and be taught a different way of being, a different way of seeing things. Because you guys can be sort of like a Taurus, you know, and stuck in your own way of acting and behaving that affect other people that it just seems like you have no regard for. Or the situation becomes too real that you don't want to face it. You know, it's easier to laugh it off, joke it off, than to actually face it. And I feel like that's coming up. That's coming. Whatever it is that you've been harboring for a long time, it's going to come to the surface. So allow it. The sooner you allow it to happen and work through it, you're going to feel a sense of relief. And this is more kind of releasing your own inner turmoil, your own demons, and dealing with it and working with it. So you can, I just feel like there'll be a big weight lifted off your chest once you can finally do this. There's a sense of you that's going to feel free. You're going to be able to look at situations in a new way, you know. I'm really hoping that for Gemini too, because and I don't mean this in a mean way, but you guys kind of need that kick in the ego right now. I do. I feel like a lot of Geminis do. Now, this may very well not affect all Geminis, okay? So let me get that straight. And I'm specifically talking about Gemini's sun. Although, if you have a strong moon or a strong rising, it could absolutely affect you. But yeah, really, I'd work on that. But it's a blessing in disguise. For real, guys. For real, for real. See if there's anything else I'm getting. Because I feel like... No, but if there's any health concerns, please be sure to get that checked too, okay? Alright, guys. Have a good night. So, this is for Cancer. Who's here? Alright. Cancer. Cancer, Cancer. You sneaky, sneaky son of a... I'm just kidding. Cancer, what are you doing? What are you up to, Cancer? Because this is about to... Cancer is shady right now. Not all Cancers. Alright, so I'm going to shut the comments off so I'm not influenced in any way. Alright. Okay, Cancer. What the hell are you up to? Oh. If I could speak with emojis flying out of my mouth, there would be hella palm trees. Shade, 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 Cancer. Now, I feel like this. Y'all been through it. You've been through it. You've been walked on. You've been stomped on. Your feelings dragged through the mud. And now it's kind of like you're in retaliation mode. Cancer, I don't know what you're lying about. I don't know what you're being sneaky about. I don't know what this is about. But you're going to get caught. I'm telling you right now. You heard it here. You're going to get caught. Whatever it is you're doing, you're going to get caught. I'm telling you, you're just going to get caught. Alright, Cancer. Forewarned is forearmed, right? You can clean it up now. or continue to have it your way. And y'all are some emotional signs. So when you get caught, it's like you can do the deed and feel like you're being slick. But then when it catches up, baby, I'm sorry, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. Your explanation's not going to work. There's no excuse for whatever it is you're doing. There's no good excuse. Okay, that's some Cancers. Let me separate them. Because there are other Cancers that are absolutely being secretive. They're working secretively because they need to leave a bad situation. And they feel like their only way out of this situation is to leave on the sneak tip. And in that scenario, I got you fully. Do it. Because I feel like for some Cancers, they're in a position where they're feeling trapped and they can't get out of it. And you may do this when the person's not around. Obviously, it's sneaky, right? There are some Cancers that are leaving a situation because it's too emotionally overwhelming, or they're contemplating it. Cancers are very family oriented. And they will do what it takes to keep their family together until they feel a complete burnout. And once they feel a complete burnout, they break down. They break down, they can't handle it. And I feel like that's going to be coming. I feel like there's going to be a big emotional breakdown. Because they're not feeling appreciated. They're not feeling heard. They're being argued with. They feel like their opinions are not valued. But Cancer, you've got to also try to be reasonable. Because I feel like you can be a little bit unreasonable. Almost like I'm seeing like a child who doesn't get their way and they throw the tantrum. There are definitely ways to go about handling a situation or handling your needs, what it is you need. There's certain ways to approach that without sounding spoiled. I'm not trying to offend. I'm just giving it as I get it. Because I'm really seeing like a 6-year-old child on the floor crying, kicking and screaming because they're not getting what it is that they want, or the reactions that they want, or the receptivity that they're looking for. And I'm just trying to tell you that there's a better way to approach the situation. Whatever it is you're asking for, there's a much better way to approach it. You like order in your home. You like things to run smoothly. You like things to you like family to be involved in whatever it is that you're doing. And I feel like that may be part of it. If you don't feel like your family is coming together as a unit, I feel like this is where the breakdown is going to come in. Because I feel like, especially now with the energy that's going on, I feel like if you lose it and you break down, it's going to take longer to recover. It's going to take longer to bounce back. Longer than usual to bounce back from that. It's like you've got this pent up stuff. Like I can see Cancers running around the house just talking mess under their breath. You know, just while they're doing things like, you know, just bitching and moaning like under their breath while they're working through whatever it is. Like whatever, like while they're doing chores, they're just talking shit like, to themselves. I mean, if I was a fly on a wall, I would find it rather entertaining, but it's not so entertaining to the people around you because they're feeling like you're hard to please. I mean, you're not hard to please, but it's your approach. Your approach is everything. Your approach. Cancer. All right, Cancer. And you're not going to pack up and leave. Like the Cancers that are not in a bad situation, like a dangerous situation, there's other Cancers that keep talking shit like they're going to leave. They're going to leave. You're not going anywhere. So stop saying it. Because you're irritating the people around you. You ain't going nowhere. I feel like there's a lot of Cancers who keep talking stuff, and now it's at the point where people are calling your bluff, like, you know, don't talk about it, be about it. I'm talking to like so many different groups of Cancers right now. It's crazy. All right, let's see what I get with these cards. Yeah, there's some Cancers that have got a lot of worrying going on right now. It could be financial. It's going to get better. If it's financial, it's going to get better. Try not to stress it too much because you're kind of getting your own way by doing that. And that's, again, a separate group. Cancers are just very emotional, so I can understand why they be in so many different groups. You know, different Cancers experiencing different things. But I just feel like they're very, oh, dang. This has to be broken up into those groups. Okay. One more. All right. Okay, so for those sneaky Cancers, they got something going on. Really sneaky, scandalous Cancers right now. That's what you're going after. I feel like there's a lot of Cancers. Not a lot. I shouldn't say a lot. Because there's so many different groups right now of Cancers going through different things. Okay? Some Cancers are going out on their spouse. Lying, cheating. You know? But I do feel like it does stem back to feeling, I feel like for the ones that are doing that, it's because you're not feeling that, that love at home that you want. But I'm not going to focus on those sneaky ones right now. Okay. Balance is absolutely what you need right now. You guys are all out of whack, really. Okay. But the one that's really getting to me the most, so I will say that this is the one, I want to say that this is for like the majority of cancers. You guys, please don't inbox me while I'm doing these live readings. You do it after, okay? Or in between. Even in between, I'm probably not going to respond, okay? But so do it after. But the ones that I feel like are just going to have this meltdown, that's the one that's sticking with me the most right now, the heaviest. Feeling alone. Feeling like you're not being heard. And you've got to be able to release that, okay? Remember I was saying that there's definitely a way to handle situations. And throwing tantrums or fits, and I don't mean it to sound like it's not valid by saying tantrum, okay? So try not to take what I'm saying out of context. I'm not calling you immature. I'm just saying that there's a better way to handle the behavior or to get the reaction that you want. But I will say, through that emotional space, there's this release, okay? And I really feel like it's going to be a little bit harder, like I said, to rebound, to come back. And this is why it's asking you to have this balance here, okay? And where this is a male and female on this image doesn't always represent a couple, but I will say in this situation it may. But you're feeling like you're not heard, but it's definitely your approach. You've got to approach it differently if you want a better result. I will say that your emotions are definitely valid. They're definitely there for a reason. But the way you approach the situation is extremely important. Very much so. You will have much better results by approaching it calmly, not so demanding. If you feel like people are not listening to you, voice that, but don't voice it in a tantrum fashion. And the ones that are worried about their finances right now, it's temporary. It's temporary. You see, you got the success and growth, okay? And this is going to also cover that area where if you can balance your energies and handle situations in a less emotional way, in a less negative way, you'll also have success and growth in that as well. But this also relates to finances. So whatever's going on financially, it's temporary. And I feel like there may be some cancers that are struggling with work or finding work or something happening on the job and they're losing their job or something, okay? But try to stay centered. Try to stay balanced through it. Because I feel like there's some cancers that are about to just break. Really. I do feel that. Alright. So this is ooh, I came back to do these readings at a perfect time. Everybody's breaking down. Alright. That's what I got for Cancer right now. See you guys. Okay, Leo. What I feel for you right now, it's kind of like being at a crossroad. I feel like you're really confused right now. meaning whatever your path is, whatever, because there's so many Leos out there, so this is broad. Keep that in mind. I want to say that there's a lot of Leos right now that are just kind of like at this crossroad in their life where they're doing a lot of reflecting. And whatever this is going, whatever they're reflecting on is going to determine their next move, the next phase in their life. You're really going over past mistakes because you don't want to repeat them. But I feel like some of you may have to walk backward a little bit in order to move forward, if that makes sense. But don't keep walking backward because you don't want to stay stuck in a position that didn't work for you previously. It's okay to reflect, but don't get stuck in that energy. Move forward. Keep moving forward. I feel like there's some Leos right now that are feeling lonely. But I feel like a lot of that has to do with really looking at yourself right now. I feel like you don't have the distraction. Well, this is for single Leos, okay? Not having the distraction of a partner to avoid your own stuff or to not have to focus on your own stuff. And I feel that for the Leos that are in that situation, you may even be thinking about going back with an ex-partner because it just seemed easier then. But what you have to keep in mind is they're an ex for a reason. So even if you think the circumstances may have changed, that may be true, but people don't necessarily change like that. I'm not saying people can't change, because they can. But if this is what you're banking that decision on, don't. I'm being shown the lion from the Wizard of Oz. You know, Leos are a very strong sign. But I feel like right now, the reason why I'm being shown that is because there's this inner strength that you really need to find and latch on to. It's an inner strength that you forgot you possessed, and you need to find that and latch on to it, because this is going to pull you through whatever it is you're going through right now. It's like you have to find that courage, that inner strength to move forward. Because I feel like a lot of you feel wounded and feel like you can't move, like you can't move forward. It's like as soon as you make a little bit of progress, you hit a wall and then have to bounce off and then go another way and hit a wall. It's like you're walking blindfolded and walking into walls. There is a path. There is, I promise. You just haven't found it yet. And this is where that inner strength is going to come in. And just at that moment, when you feel like that's it, there's nothing else that can be done, and you start to give up, that's when the light is going to shine. That's when it's going to open up for you. That's when epiphanies are going to happen. That's when changes in your circumstances are going to happen. But it's literally that saying, like hitting rock bottom before you can climb up out of this. And when you do, you're going to have a sense of relief. So you need to find that inner strength, because all is not lost right now. But you should make a list of pros and cons. Remember the things that did not work out for you and avoid that. They didn't work because it wasn't in your highest good. And you need to learn from that. You know, Leos are such a strong sign. Really. On the outside, mostly. Inside, it's so easy for you to feel worthless. And so you exude like this outer appearance that you're in control of your entire kingdom. And sometimes it's okay to swallow that pride. And especially now. I think all zodiac signs are being shaken out of their element. And for you, this is difficult. You know, I think you're kind of looking at people like they lack compassion, you know? Like, where are people's compassion for your situation? It's like Leos have a tendency to put themselves out there in the spotlight. They want everybody to pay attention to them. Look at me, like, look how I look how I dress, look how I speak. Do I not impress you? They're so all about impressing other people that they forget that, and that's just in their nature, that's just who they are, okay? That's, I mean, every zodiac sign has their own specific thing about them, and that's Leo's, and that's what makes you unique. So there's nothing wrong with that, but you're leaning on that too much, meaning it's like you're looking for the validation from other people for who you are. You want to be validated, you want to be heard. You want people to come to your rescue, so to speak. But your pride is definitely going to say, no, that's not true. I got this, you know. But let's get real. Like, that's really what's happening. And it's okay. But that's part of the work. That's definitely part of the work. Is learning to swallow that pride a little bit in order to get yourself out of this situation. Whatever it is. It's going to be different for so many people. And it's like you're smiling in front of people, but when you're alone, it's like a living hell. But you're moving. You're steady moving. You're steady moving out of that uncomfortable energy. Some of you may be making a physical move, and it will be for the best. But you have to make that decision. You're really at a crossroad. And some of you may even be thinking about moving on from a relationship, wondering, will it benefit you? If you have the means to move out of a relationship that's making you even question your position in it, then move out of the relationship. Because no relationship can even function with that mindset. It won't. You'll find reasons to bicker, to complain, and it'll just put strain and stress on the relationship. So it doesn't make sense to hang on to something out of fear of being alone. At all. But I think on some level you'll feel like you failed the relationship if you did that. Again, a pride thing. So I think that's kind of like the theme for this month. It's like swallow your pride. Swallow your pride so you can move forward. Let me pull a couple cards and see what it says. Detach. Move. Reach out. What sign was it that got these very same cards? Taurus? Moving on. There's that move. One more. Take the lead. Perfect. And look at that fire for the fire sign. Leo is definitely a fire sign. And look, after all this is said and done, what did I say? Just when you feel like it can't get any worse and you've hit rock bottom, you're going to come out shining. Remember I said you'll have that epiphany, kind of like that aha moment. The light will go off. Things will start to get a lot better for you. Look at that. Well-deserved reward. Detaching yourself from circumstances that are not serving you. You've got to do it. Detaching yourself from this inner turmoil that's going on. Decisions that you have to make. And understanding that not everybody is going to assume that you need help. You have to be able to swallow your pride and reach out and ask for it. Take the lead, you know? Reach out. You really are in control of your own circumstances, believe it or not, you know? Even if it seems like other people are causing these issues for you, that's not the case. You really are in control of that. And look at this person walking along the beach. You see? This person is looking down, and with them footsteps behind him, it's been a long road that he's walked. A long, lonely road. This person is by himself. But this scenario right here is also the perfect place to be in order to reflect. You know, it's so funny. I never do this, really. It's like the first time I have, actually. I counted the footsteps. Okay, well, first, 8. When you turn the 8 over on its side, you have the infinity symbol. If you look at the tarot strength card, the Leo sign, the strength card absolutely represents Leo in the regular tarot cards. And when you look at that Leo, that strength card, okay, this is the card strength in the tarot. Look above that head. You see that infinity sign is there? Same thing, the number 8. You see? Same thing up here, the 8. But I counted the footsteps on this card, and I don't know why I did, I just did. But there's 10. 10. 10 meaning completion, the end of a cycle. You will be moving on from that. You will be moving on from whatever this is going on with you. You just have to work through it. There's a lot of people that have to detach themselves and remove themselves from old ways of being. It's changing for everybody. Whatever it is that you're used to, drop it. It's not going to work anymore. And you really need to come into your own power. You know, take the lead. Come into your own power. You are the Strength card. That's right. For sure. And once you can get through all of this, this is what will come. The well-deserved reward. Now, that doesn't mean you're going to hit the lottery. It doesn't mean you're going to be living on an island, your very own island with a yacht and everything. It doesn't mean that. The well-deserved reward is no longer having to deal with that inner turmoil anymore. You know, no longer allowing yourself to fall into repetitive patterns or to have the same types of people in your life that you have been dealing with. The well-deserved reward is like better circumstances, better surroundings, better ways of living, more comfort in your life. Oh, you're very welcome. So, you know, just, whew. Leo, you got this. You're a damn lion. You know what I mean? King of the jungle. Let's do this. You got it. All right, Leos. That was the message, so I hope it resonated. Take care. You know, I didn't really get the sense that, just off of assumption, that Virgos were like really happy, you know? But I just feel like giggling. What the so I don't know. Actually, let me back it up a little bit. I think that's some Virgos. Virgos are starting to see people for who they really are. I think you're like really paying attention to who it is you can and cannot trust. And you're moving with caution, with things, circumstances, and people that you allow into your life. And I feel like that's really because of being burned so many times. It's like you put yourself out there, very helpful, to help other people, even in situations where you really don't want to be, and get burned. Thank you, Denise, for sharing the video. I can see that. I appreciate it. All right. So it's like there was this phase that Virgos went through. It was real tough. It was really hard. And once you came out of that phase, it's like you became aware of your surroundings, more aware of your surroundings than ever before. Meaning questioning what people's motives were, where they're coming from, analyzing everything. Okay. I think because of what had happened, you just decided not to focus on anything that could affect you on an emotional level, and either hit the books for school or just stayed focused on your work. So it's like right now, for some Virgos, it's financial reasons, but for other Virgos, it's to distract yourself. where you're putting so much of your energy and time and focus into work. And I'm not so sure that a lot of Virgos are aware that they're doing this. Because I can see you like in paper, writing. It's work related or school related. Just this constant, just writing in the books, focused, face down. Not really paying too much attention to what's going on around you because you're so focused on keeping your mind busy to distract you. It's purposely done. Well, it's okay. You're not consciously aware that you're purposely doing this to distract yourself from losing your focus. The world is a harsh place. There's so many things going on right now around you that it's easier to focus more in your work than have to deal with those things or face those things. And it's not that you don't care, because you do. It's not that. It's like, absolutely, acknowledging your true feelings. But you're not focusing on those because you're putting all your energy into work. So you don't have to focus on that. I just feel like you're tired of going through the intense emotional stuff, that you're distracting yourself in order to not have to face that stuff, in order to not have to deal with that stuff. So you're leaning on something productive so you can at least stay in production mode, and stay productive. Like this is going to carry you through and away from anything heavy, anything emotional. And it may be working right now, but I really feel like you're heading towards burnout. Like a major burnout. I'm going to shut the comments off so it doesn't interfere with what I'm getting. Alright, so I feel like this distraction that you're putting yourself in could lead to burnout. But I feel like you want so badly to be able to trust everybody. I mean, like you really want that. I feel like you want it so badly, like you can feel it, like it affects you. But because of putting yourself out there so much for other people has hurt you so much that you don't want to set yourself up like that again. And you really need to pay attention and face these things, because it's a lot heavier still than you're consciously aware of. And I know that because, like, as I'm doing this, I'm fighting back emotion. Like, I'm fighting back the need or the desire to break down and cry. So you're definitely urged to keep pushing forward, because you are doing well. You are on the right track. But you got to be able to find some time to do more inner work. I know you're tired. I know that you're exhausted with it, but it's going to benefit you in the long run. Virgo is a very intelligent, brilliant sign, but also a lot more emotional than people give you credit for. You've worked really hard to get to the place that you're at right now. And it's absolutely, and I encourage it, to be in a space where you won't tolerate being used or abused on any level ever again. But I think part of you has to go back and work on what even caused that in the first place. What made you so open or vulnerable to that type of energy in the first place? Like, what is it about yourself that you accepted a long time ago where you felt like you had to deal with these types of situations, where you felt obligated for some reason? You felt obligated. But I do believe that because you're being really cautious about the people that you're allowing into your life, I do believe that that's a smart thing to do. You're such an intelligent sign, but really a given sign. You like to give, like you like to give what, and what you're best at giving is sound advice. But the problem is, as much as you give out in that way, it's almost difficult to find anybody who will listen to what you've got going on, because they're so used to you being their sounding board, to you being the go-to person when people have problems. You're the person, because it seems you always have a solution. And you don't allow people to use excuses for staying in certain situations. That doesn't fly with you, because you know instinctively that nobody's stuck. But who's actually listening to you? So it's almost like, okay, well, if I can't be heard, then I'm going to withdraw and I'm just going to focus on work, because I know what I need to do. I know what I need to move forward. And you can either hop on this ship and move with me or get off. I feel like that's where you're at right now. Yeah. Let me see what I get. Moving on. Nurture. Release. Damn, Virgo. Flow. And the card at the bottom, blossom. Makes sense. Moving on. Just reiterates what I was saying about moving away from situations that just weren't serving you, letting them go. The water, you know, water's a very emotional thing. Very emotional. And there's that 8 again. That infinity sign. Like the Leo card. Inner strength. And also again, with the 10 footsteps, meaning completion, the end of a cycle. But you've got to nurture your feelings. You've really got to nurture that side. And you're doing that through spirit. You know, it's almost like now finally you see where she's got this illuminated area around her head, and reaching out to spirit. I feel like a lot of Virgos have leaned on spirit, you know, to help them through this. But you got to be able to release this energy and find an even balance. Completion. And I say completion because of the 10. Again, another 10. That's big. Another 10. But it says flow. And see the water? You may have to go through another emotional upheaval. But when you do, I feel like when you do, you're going to be much more balanced out. You're going to be a little more organized with your daily routines, the way you plan your day out. You're going to be more in alignment with what it is that you're supposed to do, like what your purpose is, and more understanding. And you see these triangles in this circle. I'm really looking at that as spirit. You're being protected, and it's coming in from different angles. And that circle behind him, completion. You're almost there. You're really almost there. You just have to be able to release the rest. And it'll come. It's not even something you're going to have to force at all. You will not have to force that. And then at the bottom, you see this card with that circle? Just like in here with the completion. And 20. 2 10s. You're going to blossom. You're going to open up so wide and feel so much better than you have in so long. And you're definitely going to feel Jesus, look at this, Virgo. Look at the earth. You see the leaves on this card? That's so earthy. You're going to feel so much more grounded. You know, for an earth side to not feel grounded, it's very uneasy for them. But you're on the right path, Virgo. You're gonna blossom. You're gonna do well. I just feel for you right now because you guys are truly such good people. Virgos are really good people. And for them to have to be going through any of this, it's really difficult, you know, really. There's very few signs, and maybe I'm a little biased because all the Virgos that I have in my life have always been super, one of my closest friends. I've been friends with since, gosh, junior high, and she's a Virgo, and we've been like this since then, and I know what she's been through and everything, and truly sweet people. So I really feel like the shit that Virgo gets thrown at them is really undeserved, but there's also growth in that too for you guys. So I really, my heart goes out to you. Alright, but you got it. You got this, Virgo. Alright, I'll see you.
Wake up in the morning and I'm feeling like this. When we up a day, I put her later to the bed. Been a while since I had a feeling like this. Feel like I just hit $100,000 lick. Windows down, rolling through the city with my chick. Every time we kiss, I get a feeling like this. When I'm gone, all you got is memories to reminisce. Every moment that